Hey everybody, happy lunchtime. I hope everything is going great for you today. It is Friday, and I am pretty excited about that. Planning on spending a lot of time building more of these demos this weekend. I got all the stuff finally came in, and then I'll be sharing it with you over the next couple of weeks. Next week, I may have more recorded content than live content. I'll still try to release it at lunchtime, but just some of the things I got to do requires me to have to go through and do edits and whatnot. So in any case, though, but I should be around almost all of next week at lunchtime, whether it's recorded or live, I'll be here. But in any case, I just hope you're all having a great Friday. And today we're going to do part 2, and we're going to actually set up the two devices, the two IO-Link devices. I thought this would be fun. Now, if you guys are having any troubles hearing me or seeing me, please put it in the chat. Everything on my side looks like it's working. So I'm just going to go ahead and get started. Now, I did play around with some settings early this morning to see if I could get this to work. There we go. Okay. I'm not a huge fan of how they design everything, but at least this is better than what we were doing the other day. In any case, we're back in Studio 5000. And for anybody who didn't catch yesterday's show, what we did was we added these two. Let me see if I can switch over to those. We added, nope, that's not what I wanted to do. And that has to do with the selection. You always have to select this. So let's try it again. There we go. So we added these two devices to our control Logix. And we have one IO-Link device here and one IO-Link device here. But we already have the masters added to Logix. So let's go back here and I'll click over here. And now we're inside Logix. So you can see them right here, down here. Make sure you guys are seeing what I'm seeing. And now what we need to do is get the data in from the devices. We already have it coming in as, just control the tags, but this is not, what you would want. I mean, it's the 21st century, for crying out loud, right? We want our data, to be more massaged than that. And thankfully, the vendor, IFM, has some AOIs, and they're in that same folder, that same download, that Allen Bradley download. They put all their AOIs in here, which I think is great. At first, I went to the actual pages for the different products, and there were no AOIs there. And I'm like, I think they're actually in the starter package for Allen Bradley. So I went into there. Again, we downloaded this yesterday. I talked about where to get this yesterday. There's the add-on instructions, IFM devices. And the first device I have, well, the device plugged into the first IO-Link Master is... this was the RVP, so we're looking for RXP. Okay, and so what we want to do is bring in this. We have an 8-port, so we need one that goes all the way up to 8 ports. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this path here. I'm going to come over to our assets folder here, add-on instructions. I'm going to import an add-on instruction. I'm going to give it the path, open. We have 8-port devices here, so I'm going to use 8-port. And that'll bring it in. I'm going to accept all the defaults when it comes in. Bada bing, bada bang, bada boom. Excellent, excellent. And now I know the other one I have is a temperature sensor, TN something. So let's see here, TN. Okay, 8-port, because that's what I have in the field, 8 ports. And bringing that out in instruction as well. Accept all the defaults. And just a mere moments, they both come in. Now, you probably know you can go to this add-on, toolbar here and bring them in that way. Although, did you know you can bring them in like this too, right? Which is pretty cool because sometimes it's easier to see it here because this text is really small. Okay, so in any case, we have them in. Now, let's see if we can zoom in here. Now, we have to create tags for these. Okay, so I'll just do a new tag. And I'm just going to call this, these are the AL1322. I'll call this A. Actually, this is actually for the device. So let me call this the RVP 510. I'll just call it A in case we have another one in the future. And then I'll create it. Okay. And I'll do the same thing here. Might as well do that right now. And this is for our TN, I think it's a 2511 A. Okay. Boom. So I got the backing tags for each of the add-on instructions. Now I have to give it the PLC input. And this one, it's pretty obvious. Of course, I named 1322A and B. Those are the two devices, the masters out there. But you have to grab the data. Okay, you have to grab the data. I tried grabbing this when I was testing it early this morning. It's like, oh, I don't like that. I want the data. Okay, so we'll do that. That's A. And then this guy is connected up to B. Okay, so we'll go over to input, data. Okay, port number. Now, if we, I don't know if this thing will let me do this. Let's try it like this. Okay, good. So, see this guy? Okay, this is the RVP. He's in, and this encoder we've showed it in the show before. We've had it on, connected it to Allen Bradley and Siemens PLCs, but we can see it's plugged into port 1. Okay, this is the power port, Ethernet, in and out, and then this is an IoT port. And again, we've covered that in previous episodes. And then for the temperature sensor, I have it in port 2. Okay, so let's see if we can get StreamYard to go back to this view here. All right, great. And now, so this guy's going to be port 1 because that's the RVP, and this is going to be port 2. This is nobody's complaining that they can't hear me, so that's good. The vendor IDs. So let's see. I do have the website up here, and let's start with the temperature sensor. So this is IFM. So the vendor ID is always going to be 310, and this particular device ID is 582. So this is a temperature sensor. So let me go back here, and here we'll go 310, and what is it, 582? 582. And in the gradient listed in that, if we search on gradient, we will see it's 0.01. You guys see that? Yeah, yeah, that's on the screen. Okay. So let's go back over to the VMware. 0.01, beautiful. Okay. Now we got to do this guy. Port number 1, vendor ID, we know it's going to be 310 because it is still IFM. And then device ID. I have no idea what it is. So let's go back to the IOD data sheet. And I think it's at the very top. Just scroll up. Yep, it wasn't. Here we go. Device ID 496. 496. Okay. And then I'm going to leave that all blank. All right. So if we've done this correctly, this should massage that data and give us, a counter, like how many pulses per rev. I think this is defaulted to 1024. And then the temperature, and for whatever reason, this is, even though the unit's set for Fahrenheit, this block is shown in Celsius. I did not have a time to figure out why that was. I did look through the block to see if there's any way I could toggle it in the block itself. There wasn't. And so let's go ahead and download this bad boy and see if we got it to work. Come on, puppy. Yeah, so all these limitations of StreamYard is great for doing interviews, right? But when it comes to doing things like this, I'm really struggling. I may have to go back to Restream. Yeah, put the controller back into run mode. I've been using StreamYard for the interviews we're doing the Automation Museum, which will come out Monday. But the first episode, anyways, we're recording episode 4 this Sunday. But in any case, so you can see it right here, and everything looks like it's working. So let's take a look here. I am going to turn. You just have to trust me because I can't do a split screen with this software. I'm going to turn the encoder slowly, and we can see the counter turning up, right? And that is now represented by a tag, not just some random data tag, but it's actually, did these go as program tags? Okay. Yeah, that's the add-on instruction. That's not what I wanted. Nope, they're controller tags. So here's the RVP 510. And we can see the count right there. See all the information about this. Let's leave it in this view. See if you guys can see that. Okay. And the beautiful thing is, yeah, it's in the data table, right? It's in the controller tags. caught me there. Went a little legacy on you. You can see it here right on the block too, which is really nice, right? So it just takes that data, massages it, and makes it look nice. And then on the temperature, you know what? Something happened. How come my vendor ID didn't get put in there? I thought I pressed enter. Sometimes when you're doing, yeah, look at it. Did I get that number wrong? That's weird. You guys thought it was easy to live stream. 310-582. I'm just joking. 310-582. Yeah. Port 2. You see this? I didn't choose the right one. Typo. You guys probably saw that when I did that too. Okay. It's interesting. Interesting typo. Yeah, so we have two different masters here. So we're, it was right for us to get zeros here because there was nothing attached to port 2. So the feedback was zeros. And so that's good. So if I would have had another thing, I guess I could have done is I could actually have moved the temperature controller over to the other master, and it should have worked. Okay, so right now it says 23. That's Celsius. Of course, it's probably, well, we can just take a look here. 75 degrees in here and climbing, sadly. Let's see here. Oh, yeah, we're going up. Not going up as fast as it went up earlier. Interesting. Got up to 77. Now it's falling because I let go of it. And yeah, that was actually pretty easy to do. Just come out here and show you the devices one more time. So you could see this is what I was doing to turn the encoder. And I was just holding on to this to get the temperature to go up. Can we get that on there? Yeah. So yeah, that was pretty easy to do. And so with that, I think that'll wrap up today's automation tech talk about IO-Link. Did you guys catch the IO-Link show from yesterday? It came out a little later. It just been so crazy, but I did get that out, and I thought that was an excellent. I actually sponsored it, so the video would be ad-free. I sponsored it myself, so I talk a little bit about the automation school in it and whatnot. But in any case, just want to just remind you, Monday we should have the episode of the Automation Museum. It will not come out on LinkedIn. LinkedIn does not want people to have long format videos, so they limit you to like a 10-minute upload, and they don't want you live streaming from long videos like that from a file. So Monday, if you're on LinkedIn, watch it on LinkedIn. That won't be the Automation Museum. You'll have to go to Automation Blog, or you'll have to go to YouTube to see that. And then on Tuesday through Friday, my hope is to have some recorded content because I'm doing sponsored videos, more IO-Link videos, more distributed IO. We'll be doing Rockwell, we'll be doing Siemens, and all kinds of different stuff. So hopefully you guys will enjoy those and learn something too, because the whole purpose of this is to just share knowledge with you guys and hopefully make you more efficient at your jobs, and give you a reference you can share with somebody else in case they have the same questions. You don't have to go through the whole thing all over again. But with that, I want to thank you. I haven't even eaten lunch yet. I got to go eat lunch. But I want to thank you all for tuning in today. I want to wish you all a very happy Friday. If you didn't catch yesterday's podcast on IO-Link, please check it out. Michael did a great job. And got some Metla Toledo content coming up soon, as well as a bunch of podcasts. We're scheduled for podcasts out through Thanksgiving. So got some great content. We've met with some great vendors. So look forward to sharing that with you as well. And with that, I'm just going to wish you all good health and happiness. And until next time, my friends, peace.